All right, first video, another video. This one's gonna be on the joiner, okay? This is our joiner. It's in the high school shop. It's made by Jet. I'm gonna give you the parts real quick. Hopefully I can do this without making you sick. This is our safety guard. Don't ever touch it. It moves all by itself. I'll show you that later. This is our in-feed table. This is our guide fence. And down here is the on and off switch, okay? Green means on, red means off, okay? You'll know you're standing in the right spot when you can turn it on and off. You're standing on the other end of the machine, you won't be able to turn it on and off, okay? So the guide fence works all by itself. The stock comes by, it opens and closes when the stock's over there. I'll show you that in a minute, okay? So now you know the parts. On and off, you don't adjust this. You don't ever touch this. Your stock goes here, you hold it tight into this corner. This is set at 90 degrees, and then your joiner cuts nice, smooth, clean edges for you. Only edges, no end grain on this machine. Okay, we'll get into that in a few minutes. Okay. When I buy the stock, I buy it finished, dressed only on two edges, two faces. The biggest faces, I buy it edged, not the edges, okay? So the edges look like this, very rough, okay? And this is what the joiner's gonna do. It's gonna turn this into this, a nice, smooth, clean edge, so that if we needed to or wanted to, we could bond these two together, and 100% of this piece will touch 100% of this piece. Anything else, the glue joint becomes weak, and it'll possibly fall apart. Okay, so here's how it works. If your stock is taller than the guide fence, you just wrap your fingers around it and cut. Turn it on, push it past the cutting head, and it'll cut nice and slow, and it'll give you a nice clean edge. Anything else is also unacceptable. Wrap your fingers and push nice and slow. Okay, the two tables are set at different heights to each other. And that's because when you remove the material, it'll slide out on the outfeed table with the material removed, and it'll be nice and smooth. Okay, we do use this. Your pieces are going to be shorter than the guide fence, right? Your pieces are going to be shorter than the guide fence, so you want to keep your fingers away from that cutting head. So you're going to use this. This is called a push stick. You're going to push this piece along, and with another piece of wood, you're going to push on here, so again, you keep your hands far away from the cutting head as possible. The cutting head is in here. It has 3 knives on it, so there's 120 degrees between each knife, right? 360 degrees. There's only 3 spots on a 360-degree circle, so there's only 3 points that it's going to cut, which means you have to cut nice and slow, okay? Now I'm going to show you how it works. If I was to cut right now, my sleeves are rolled up. I don't have anything hanging over the machine. You can't see my face, but I do have my safety glasses on, okay? Always safety, safety, safety first, okay? You turn it on. It's very loud. You won't be able to hear me talking while it's running, but I'm going to turn it on. I'll make a cut, and then I'll turn it off, okay? Nice and slow, nice and slow. Nice and slow makes a nice clean cut. If you cut anything fast, you're liable to tear the grain out of the back and send it flying across the room. So you always cut nice and slow. It's only designed to cut with the grain, okay? Here's a before and after shot. I don't know if you can see that. This is before we cut it. This is after we run it through the joiner. Nice and smooth. It's not made to cut end grain. Okay, remember the grain runs with the piece. You're going to cut along the edges, but never the end grain. And again, the shop is full of sights and sounds, and I'll cut one for you just so you hear it. You might hear it, but I can definitely hear it all the way across the room. 9 inches, the width of your piece, is the width of the smallest piece in this project you're making is the shortest piece that you'll run through here. Anything shorter than 9 inches, you will cut on a bandsaw and then sand on a sanding center, which you haven't learned yet. But now I'm going to show you an end grain cut, which again, you won't be able to hear me, but you'll hear the machine running, and then I'll, hopefully you'll hear the difference. Two things that happen when you cut end grain. It's a difficult cut to make, so it's really aggressive on the cutting head, or the cutting blades rather, so that it wears them out faster, and then you get this. This is what's called tear out, and that happens every time you cut end grain on a joiner. And these pieces could very well come out and go flying around the room. So again, the shortest piece you have on your project is the shortest piece you're going to run through here, and that's 9 inches long, only end grain, nice and slow. Force the piece down in this corner, but again, you don't have to push so hard that you can't move the piece, and then you work it that way so it's nice and smooth, and then you'll be able to use the joiner when you get back, okay? So this is going to be for the students at home, and then anybody that's virtual, you get an idea how to use it, and then I'll send a safety quiz along with it also. I'll figure out a way you can see my face, hopefully next time. But that's it. Maybe you don't want to see my face. Who knows? So that's the joiner. It's Jet. It's in the shop. This is the one you're going to be using. Again, you're not going to use this until I give you a refresher course in the shop so that you can use it. Okay? So don't come in expecting to use it right away, and that goes with all the rest of the tools that I'm going to do this with. You get another refresher when you come in, and then the students going home will get this, and then they'll get the safety quiz also. All right? See you later. Thanks.